Black and White Sports Supporters. Well, we're going to talk about Caitlin Clark in the NBA. I mean, I give Adam Silver some credit for actually making an attempt and understanding, it seems understanding better than the WNBA, the kind of star power and potential, the force that is the Caitlin Clark phenomenon.
Imagine this. It's the 2012 NBA All-Star Weekend. The crowd is buzzing, the lights are low, and then the spotlight shines down on center court. But it's not LeBron or Giannis stepping up. It's Caitlin Clark, the NBA's rising star, ready to face the Splash Brothers in a three-point contest that will go down in history. You might be wondering how this all came about. Well, it started with Caitlin's incredible off-season. Under the guidance of coach Keith Porter, she pushed herself to new heights, mastering everything from finishing strong at the rim to sinking deep three-pointers. Now, after months of intense work, Caitlin is ready to show the world what she's made of.
So as you can see, Coach Keith Porter is there. He is ready to take Caitlin Clark's game to the next level. They're working on a lot of finishes in this video, a lot of finishes at the rim, and maybe some different finishes that we didn't see from her in the 2024 season.
Are you ready to witness basketball history? You might be wondering if Caitlin Clark is really good enough to go head-to-head with NBA players. Well, let me tell you about her incredible off-season. Clark has been putting in serious work with coach Keith Porter, but this isn't your typical practice. They've been doing full-speed drills that will leave you speechless, but here's where things take a twist. The NBA made a surprising decision that sets the stage for something big. While she's already dominating with her strengths, Caitlin is also expanding her skills and adding new moves to her game faster than anyone expected. Things are about to get really exciting.
Now, Coach KP told me that one of his goals for Caitlin was just to expand her bag. So no matter what defense is thrown at her, she has something for it. And what I love here is they are working on taking it to the rim, but sometimes pulling up a little bit short, sometimes pulling up a little behind the block, faking that she's going all the way to the basket, turn around, fade away, little Kobe jump.
Imagine this. Caitlin Clark is driving to the rim, but instead of a simple layup, she pulls off a Kobe-style fadeaway. It's smooth, it's deadly, and it's a new weapon in her arsenal. And her three-point shooting? Even more impressive. She's hitting shots off screens, creating her own shots with slick dribbling, and really making defenders scramble. Coach Porter's goal is clear. He's giving Clark so many offensive moves that defenses won't even know how to react.
And then, of course, working on the signature Caitlin Clark three-pointers coming off of screens. It looks like she's working on the handoff, 1-2 dribble into the shot.
Let me break it down for you. Caitlin Clark isn't just going through the motions. She's training at full speed, constantly pushing herself because she's not just preparing for the WNBA, she's getting ready to challenge the world's best shooters. You might be wondering if all this hard work is actually paying off. Well, Coach Porter isn't just focused on making Clark a better shooter, he wants her to be unstoppable. He's confident enough to say that if she wants to drop 20 or 30 points in a game, opponents won't be able to stop her. And that's not just talk, it's a bold challenge to every defender out there.
Like Coach KP said, just expanding her bag. So no matter what teams throw at her, she can handle that. He said he wants her to feel so comfortable in her skill set that it doesn't matter what the defense does. And he wants other teams to feel like they're just going to have to accept getting buckets from Caitlin Clark. If Caitlin Clark wants to drop 20 or 30 a game, they're just going to have to accept that because there's not much they can do to stop.
Let's talk about that three-point contest for a second. Caitlin Clark knows the game is about to get faster and tougher, so she's not settling for being just a spot-up shooter. She's putting in the work to create her own shots, moving off screens, and even dribbling into threes. Clark isn't just getting ready for the WNBA, she's preparing to compete at the NBA level.
I know that Caitlin Clark is putting in a lot of off-season work on different aspects of her game. We actually haven't seen that much three-point shooting from her in these off-season workouts. However, with it getting closer to NBA All-Star, these were spot-up shots. And I know she didn't have the rack out there, but I guarantee you that she is preparing for this NBA three-point shooting contest.
But hold on, if you think that's impressive, wait until you hear about the NBA's last-ditch effort to save their All-Star weekend. They don't just see Caitlin Clark as another player. They view her as their secret weapon to bring excitement back to a fading tradition. And with the way Clark has been training, she might just be the spark the NBA needs. Last year's All-Star game was a disaster. I'm talking about a final score so lopsided it looked like the scoreboard was broken. It wasn't just bad, it was downright embarrassing. Remember when the NBA All-Star game was the highlight of the basketball season? Those days seem like a distant memory now.
The NBA All-Star game is a joke. But this tournament fix, it sounds terrible. It sounds like a complete nightmare.
It's clear things aren't looking good when even NBA Commissioner Adam Silver is scrambling for solutions. Can you believe the guy in charge of the entire league is basically saying that their marquee event is dying right before our eyes? And he's not wrong. The ratings for last year's game were so bad, Silver probably couldn't sleep for weeks. This is a real wake-up call, folks.
I will say this, I think Adam Silver has realized maybe the most valuable commodity he's got is the NBA All-Star Saturday night, which is kind of sad.
Here's where things really get interesting. The players are speaking out, too. They're saying exactly what we've all been thinking. The All-Star game has turned into a glorified pickup game. No defense, no real effort, just a bunch of superstars running up and down the court like they're at a local YMCA.
Why are the players disappointed? They're the ones that played in it and played absolutely zero defense. And they have played no defense per game for years now and has made it a completely unwatchable product. By the way, what's the incentive for any of these four teams to want to win this tournament? Like, what is the incentive for it? That's what I don't get. Or are we talking about four teams that all go out there and you've got no defense in neither of the two games or the final game of the tournament?
You might be thinking, surely it can't be that bad. Well, it's actually worse. Fans are now begging professional athletes to try during the game. It's like we've slipped into some strange alternate reality where everything has gone backwards, and the main event has completely lost its excitement. Take Stephen Curry's thoughts on facing Caitlin Clark. Steph's not just excited. He sees this as a chance to reignite the All-Star Game's energy. Remember when the dunk contest was must-watch TV? Now, it's as thrilling as watching paint dry. We've gone from iconic moments with Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins to, well, I can barely even remember who was in it last year. It's become that forgettable.
So now they're talking about a tournament. And frankly, I don't even quite understand what he's trying to get to here. But that may be the most interesting part of all of this. It's not the NBA tournament, All-Star tournament. His idea for NBA Saturday night.
That's right. Adam Silver isn't just sitting back and hoping things fix themselves. He's actively searching for solutions and isn't afraid to think outside the box. According to reports, the NBA is considering a major shakeup, possibly changing the format of the All-Star game entirely. One idea on the table? Turning it into a 14-player competition. It's a bold move, but clearly, they're willing to try anything to bring the excitement back.
Mark NBA event to another. We have some breaking news regarding All-Star Weekend here. Our senior insider Shams Charania with us now. What's going to be different about All-Star 2025 in the Bay?
Malika, I'm told that the NBA is nearing a 4-team tournament for the All-Star game in February in the Bay Area, and this is how it's going to work. It's going to be 3 teams consisting of 8 All-Stars per team, and then the winner of the Rising Stars game, all going to come together to compete in a bracket-style 4-team competition. And Stephen Curry, the star host of this All-Star Weekend in the Bay Area, he has been involved, I'm told, along with other All-Stars, having input in this year's game, because we know how disappointed the fans, the audience, Adam Silver, and everyone, even including the players, was over last year's All-Star Weekend.
It's a risky move. But when your flagship event has become unwatchable, you have to try something different. Now, you might be wondering, what does Caitlin Clark have to do with all of this? Well, get ready, because Adam Silver is about to pull off the most outrageous Hail Mary pass in NBA history. Things are about to get wild.
We'll leave it to Adam Silver to figure out a way to get the biggest commodity in basketball, in all of basketball, into this event. And it makes sense if he wants people to watch, and people will watch this.
Here's the offer. Caitlin Clark and Sabrina Ionescu. the two most dangerous sharpshooters in the NBA, going head-to-head with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, the Splash Brothers. Silver isn't just desperate, he's going all in with a shootout that will blow your mind. Yes, you read that right. The Splash Brothers versus the new queens of the court. It's more exciting than anyone could have imagined, but here's the twist. This isn't just another NBA exhibition. It's a lifeline for the All-Star Weekend. If this works, it could completely change the game and the entire future of the event.
Annapolis, and that means finding creative avenues to attract competition. And that means bringing back a highlight of last year's All-Star Weekend, which was the NBA WNBA shootout between Stephen Curry and Sabrina Ionescu. Sources tell me that Curry and Ionescu are continuing discussions on bringing back that shootout. There is plans for that, but also potentially including Klay Thompson and Caitlin Clark in that competition this year.
Wow, I mean, that would absolutely be must-see TV if those sharpshooters go head-to-head. And to your point, Shams, the All-Star Game, there was a combined 397 points scored last year, so something has to be done.
The NBA is putting all their hopes on this bold idea. And who knows, it might actually work. Recently, Reggie Miller dropped a hint that's got everyone talking. Caitlin Clark could be attending All-Star Weekend. This isn't just some casual chat, it signals that the NBA's top decision-makers are seriously considering this move. Clark's been packing crowds that make some NBA games look like practice sessions, and now, Adam Silver is betting big on her star power to breathe new life into a tradition that's been struggling.
Adam Silver is, he's desperate. I mean, they are calling on Caitlin Clark to save the NBA All-Star Weekend. This product out of Iowa that just took over basketball. Damn women's basketball. I mean, took over basketball.
Here's the kicker, though. Caitlin Clark isn't just waiting around for an invitation. She's been working non-stop to take her game to the next level. On her birthday, she casually made 50 out of 54 three-pointers. That's not just impressive, it's the kind of performance that makes even Steph Curry take notice. And it's not just about Clark. The NBA is actually considering bringing back the shootout format, featuring Curry and Sabrina Ionescu. But this time, they want Clark and Klay Thompson involved as well. It's like they're assembling the Avengers of basketball shooting, and trust me, this showdown is going to be something special.
I guess they would have that as a head-to-head competition. There's part of me that would almost rather see Steph versus Klay and Caitlin Clark. To me, that would be like a little bit more interesting to create maybe a team competition out of that, right? I mean, I don't know. And then the highest score combined wins, whatever they're going to do.
Let's be honest for a moment. The NBA is pulling out all the stops to stay relevant. They are practically enlisting a women's basketball phenomenon to save their marquee event. Talk about a plot twist. And the crazy part? It might actually work. With this potential shootout, Caitlin Clark isn't just popular, she's changing the game. She's attracting viewers who've never been interested in basketball before and is bridging the gap between the WNBA and NBA in a way that's never been done before. It's a game changer, literally and figuratively.
Caitlin Clark was such a driving force that now Adam Silver's got to try to get her involved to chum up interest. I mean, let's put some chum in the water to try to get people to want to tune in, and they will tune in. I mean, if Caitlin Clark's involved, it's going to be very interesting if they make this happen, what she's going to do to the ratings of this.
Okay, let's be honest for a moment. Is Caitlin Clark capable of competing with Klay Thompson and Steph Curry? We're discussing two of the best shooters in NBA history, the Splash Brothers, living legends. So I know what you're thinking, it sounds weird, right? But this is where things start to get crazy.
Caitlin Clark also just celebrated a birthday a couple days ago, and for her birthday, she was in the gym, and she went 50 for 54 from 3 on her birthday.
Just a few days ago, for her birthday, Caitlin Clark was in the gym, knocking down 50 out of 54 three-pointers. That's not just impressive, it's a statement. Remember all the hard work she's been putting in over the off-season? Well, it's not just for show. She's been expanding her shooting range, refining new skills, and even working on a Kobe-style fadeaway. Clark isn't just preparing to compete in the WNBA, she's getting ready to take on the best in the NBA.
Last year in the 3-point shootout, Sabrina shot with a women's ball, but she shot from the NBA 3-point line. And the NBA offered her to shoot from the WNBA line, and she said she wanted to shoot from NBA. We know that also will not be a problem for Caitlin because she's already shooting from that.
You might be wondering, can she really hang with Curry and Thompson? Well, let's break it down. According to experts, Caitlin Clark's shooting isn't just good, it's NBA level good. She's already knocking down threes from NBA range with ease. And here's the kicker, she's not just a spot-up shooter anymore. Clark has been working on creating her own shots, coming off screens, and shooting off the dribble. Sound familiar? That's exactly what makes Curry and Thompson so dangerous in the NBA.
This year, it's in the Bay Area, and the rumor, as it stands right now, is that it's going to be Steph Curry and Klay Thompson versus Sabrina Ionescu. And
here's where things get really interesting. Caitlin Clark isn't just a great shooter. She's got the kind of star power that makes people stop and take notice. While most would buckle under the pressure of performing on NBA All-Star Weekend in front of millions, Clark thrives in those high-pressure moments. Her performances in the WNBA and college have been compared to those of NBA stars, and she's known for having ice in her veins. When the spotlight's on her, that's when she shines the brightest. And let me tell you, that's the exact mindset you need to take on the Splash Brothers.
everybody loves a good boys versus girls moment. Like, who doesn't love that? The stakes are risen no matter who it is. Everybody wants to see that match, especially in Golden State. This is also going to be a reunion for Steph and Klay, these Splash Brothers. They made such iconic memories in the Bay Area, won championships together. Them reuniting and going up against the two best three-point shooters in the WNBA, where the WNBA is at its peak right now. It's box office.
You're right. These are NBA superstars we're talking about. I get what you're thinking, but here's the twist. Not only is Caitlin Clark participating, but she also has a real shot at stunning the world and outscoring the NBA's top shooters. Some pundits are even saying she might surprise everyone and surpass them. Can you believe what we're witnessing? This isn't just a typical shootout, it's a full-blown revolution in the making. Now, you might be wondering, yeah, Clark is good, but can she really hang with the NBA's best? The answer? Absolutely. Clark isn't just saving the NBA All-Star Weekend, she's flipping the entire basketball world on its head. She's bringing a whole new level of excitement to the game. And let me tell you, she's not here to play nice. She's here to dominate and potentially make history in the process. You've probably heard some rumors, and I get it, it's hard to imagine, but trust me on this. If you know anything about Adam Silver, you know he will never pass up a chance to capitalize on a marketing opportunity or boost ratings. I've interviewed him many times, and one thing he'll never do is miss out on something this big, and this is where things get really interesting. Basketball as we know it will never be the same after this. Caitlin Clark isn't just taking part in All-Star Weekend, she's about to show the world what women's basketball is truly capable of. The NBA is scrambling to harness her appeal and use it to draw in a bigger audience while reviving their marquee event. Who knows? It might just work. Mark your calendars, because what's coming next is going to be truly unique.
So with all of that, you guys, the rumors have been flowing. I don't see why this doesn't happen. If you know anything about Adam Silver, and I've interviewed Adam Silver, I've had plenty of conversations with Adam Silver. One thing Adam Silver is not going to do is miss out on a marketing opportunity, a ratings opportunity for the NBA.